Welcome, McAllen Catholic community, and to the Max 16670. My name is Javier René Solis. Today we have the pleasure of talking with Patricia Maso, and she's the principal administrator of St. Juan Diego Academy. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Pleased to have you. So, how would you like to start as far as the vision and the motto of your school? Help us to get to know Juan Diego. It hasn't been around too long, has it?
I'd say about approximately 12 years.
Already?
2011, 2012, their first class began there.
Wow, okay.
And for the most part, it is a Christ-centered Catholic learning environment. And we have various key goals that we try to aim for achieving for every child. One, obviously, we want to embed the faith to help them develop and grow in their faith. We definitely want to push the academics for the sake of being prepared for college. We want to introduce them to the importance of serving for others, to know what the importance behind service, because it truly defines who you are as a Christian when you are able to do for others.
Right.
And ultimately be able to take that with them so that in turn they become a viable member of community once they do leave us and can continue to flourish on their own.
Great. So what sets St. Juan Diego Academy apart, I suppose, from public education? Obviously, you mentioned it already, the element of faith, but it's an academic, so you want to incorporate the faith element in that. How do you exactly do that? Like, let's describe a typical day for a student at the campus.
All right, so for the most part, we will begin the day with prayer, morning prayer over the intercom, and then every day we go to chapel. All week we go to chapel to listen to liturgy and reflection. On Wednesdays, every Wednesday, we have Mass. And we're very blessed to have the different priests from the various parishes come by and to give our Mass. So the kiddos know exactly the importance of developing their faith beyond just liturgy. We also are able to partake in the Mass, which is very important for us to help everyone grow and to see the importance also of the sacraments, because they do get taught religion within the respective schedule of their classes. And so that in itself enhances what our goal is, to be able to teach them to appreciate their faith. And so we continue before lunch. We do another prayer over the intercom, and we do a prayer before the dismissal of the day.
Wow, that's great. So that was one of the thoughts that I had. Who helps you as far as with Mass and administration of the sacraments? The deanery close by, parishes nearby. You're saying they rotate or they kind of take turns?
Yes, we call and we see their availability, and then they lock in 1, 2, or various Wednesdays throughout the year, and they come on out. And then they have an amazing impact on the kids, because they really, when they do their homilies or they're able to, talk to them, there's just great rapport, and the kiddos have so much to gain from them because they really talk to them at their level.
Right. How exciting. That's really great. I think nowadays people have a certain idea, I don't know, maybe less educated about the Catholic faith. Even Catholics might not be as well catechized as they were maybe before, at least knowledge-wise. And the practice is another thing. You mentioned service. Obviously, that's an extension of a interior life, spiritual life. It's something, obviously, that's important for you all. How does, as far as your curriculum, you want to share a little bit about your curriculum?
Okay, so for the most part, we hold them, the students are held accountable for fulfilling a good number of the same credits that the state would hold for any high school.
Okay.
But we do incorporate 4 years of religion. So every year, the kiddos will take a religion course, each one tapping in on anything from one year the sacraments, one day the Bible history, one day the social issues. How do you see social issues as a Catholic? So they really get the full gamut as to how the outlook of what a Catholic should take with them, but more than anything, to understand it more in depth. Because when you study the Bible, you're taking it at their pace and literally just breaking it down in little chunks versus I'm just going to go to, let's say, Mass, and I'm going to listen. But then sometimes that connection is not made completely. Yeah. But here, as they go through it daily, they're able to make that connection.
How beautiful. It's important. I know public education, oh my goodness, it can go in every direction, I guess, is on a lesson, but you all can be directive. Obviously, you have that liberty to do that. You're teaching, I've heard it put, because some reporter was interviewing a Catholic administrator. It says that you all are proselytizing. It says, we're not proselytizing, we're teaching the Catholic faith. Exactly. And it's just, so there's a difference, there's these people chose to be here. Their parents want them to be here. Obviously, that's what we teach. So we have the right to do that, to the full extent and everything. So that's really, really good. So what kind of activities, extracurricular, or what can be offered for the students there?
Aside from some clubs and the traditional societies like NHS, the Spanish Honor Society, our student council, we do have sports, an array of sports that our kiddos can partake in. And for the most part, given the fact that we are a private school, we don't have a big group of competition, here in the Valley, but our kiddos have certain steps where they can play our sister schools, like the other schools that are either charter. And then ultimately, they do move quicker up to regionals and state because your competition is not as big to get to that level. And so we do have from volleyball, basketball, golf, tennis, track, cross country, and soccer.
Soccer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Great. So I suppose talk about a little bit about, I guess, your background. I think we should have started with that, I suppose. Your background in education and how you were drawn to be involved with Catholic education.
But for the most part, I have fulfilled my 40th year in education.
40 years.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
And I've been very blessed to fulfill an array of different duties, if you will, from a high school English teacher to a high school counselor to a high school assistant principal to a dean of instruction to a high school principal in 2 different high schools and an elementary principal and a charter principal, and then ultimately here at Juan Diego. I think the biggest thing for me in trying to secure a position here at Juan Diego was the fact that as you get older, you start to see things very differently. You put things in perspective where you do want to continue to make a difference, but even on a different note. And that was my goal since my entire education. To want to make a difference. You're a teacher, great.
Sure.
Counselor, great. Administrator, great, because it expands the arena expands as to how many people you can reach as you move up the ladder.
Right.
But in this case, it was a whole different mindset of wanting to serve God personally, to serve God and give Him my time and energy and talent. And when that took place, it was just a godsend. I took that leap of faith, and I have no regrets.
Wow. Okay, great. So you have extensive experience, your resume is quite long.
Very much so.
Very long. So you bring a lot to the table. So let's say we have people out there that are listening and wanting to know more about Juan Diego Academy, and they're considering maybe enrolling their students. What are the requirements? Are there financial aid, scholarships? What's available for them?
Okay, so for the most part, yes, we are tuition-based, and definitely there is financial assistance. Every year we have a set period that is opened up for them to apply, and normally it's about March that it closes up, and any and all individuals that apply based on the criteria that's defined will get reviewed by our committee, and the committee then will allocate a certain amount based on, they look at the family income, definitely the achievement of what the student is bringing to the table,
right,
so to speak, grades and extracurricular, anything that you want to say that the child has to display about their commitment. And then they define how much it will assign. And then ultimately, whatever balance there remains, you have an opportunity to pay it over 1, 2, 3, up to 12 payments. So it's never going to be like, one chunk and that's it. We will work with every scenario. And there are a couple of scholarships that we offer, merit scholarships for entering freshmen that are coming in strong academically, that will take care of them for their entire 4 years.
Yeah. So do y'all offer tours or?
Oh, definitely.
Obviously, if they go to their website, if y'all's website, I guess Juan Diego Academy, your website, and give them instructions as far as enrollment. So who might be some, prominent alumni from Juan Diego Academy? Athletes, politicians, business people, religious maybe?
I would not have that information per se, but we've been very blessed to have one of our teachers that went through the entire high schooling there, got his college degree, and came back. And he's been with us since then, a young teacher. And so, but we've had a lot of the younger people that have graduated that have come back to try to, get involved in some way, whether it be to help with a robotics club or to be able to attend maybe a certain service and volunteer to assist us. The connection is still there. They don't just cut off right away.
Well, you know what? I think that's more important than what I might have alluded to as far as being famous and prominent. I think that's what you want. That's what you want. You want people who are plant the seeds there, and when you're able to see that it's impacting their lives and they want to come back and contribute and participate. I mean, that's a hero right there. I mean, that's what you want as an educator, as a Catholic administrator. Obviously the faith component, that it's that important to them that they want to come back. They want to come back stuff. So I think our Catholic education is challenged, I guess, nowadays with enrollment and everything. Has your enrollment been increasing? I've been understanding that there might have been a decline during the pandemic. I guess that was before you were there.
Yes, sir.
But I think as far as enrollment trends, what are you looking at with that?
Well, I would like to say that we've been very blessed to have a coordinator added to my staff. Upon me getting there, I did not have that coordinator. We have added that coordinator to our staff, and he's done an amazing job in basically getting the word out of who JDA is and where we're at. Because we are on the outskirts of Mission, near La Lomita. And so you don't really see it, unless you really go look for it. And so we're south of Sherry Road, approximately about a mile or so. But once you drive into that respective vicinity and you see the gated area and you drive up the hill, it's beautiful, like paradise, and until you visit the campus will you understand how much it has to offer aesthetically, but ultimately safe campus. You have everything in very quick accessibility for the students. And the kiddos that are there are like in love with it. I mean, they love their campus. It's very different from a typical high school that would have 2,000 plus kids.
Right.
Even though our goal right now is to grow our enrollment every year.
What's your numbers? What are your numbers this past school year?
Right now for this coming year, we're looking at anywhere between 70 and 90. So very, very small campus.
Oh, okay.
So the kiddos would definitely have small class sizes, so you have more interaction with your teacher.
More attention, Wow, that's great.
And so ultimately, and then we have an array of courses that they get to choose beyond the general high school. We're talking dual classes with SGC.
Okay.
We offer the AP where they can challenge the AP exams in May. So we've got an array of opportunities for them to walk away with college credit aside from their high school diploma.
Right. Wow, that's fantastic. So that extra attention from their teachers, I would think that parents would be happy about that.
Yes.
I think I hope and pray that you all have a successful, I guess, recruitment for more enrollment and everything. But obviously, I know your goal is quality, and if we stick to our prayer and our foundational and basic fundamental principles, I guess, of the education of the faith, then it'll bloom.
Yes,
it'll
sir.
bloom. And you mentioned up the hill, and I started thinking of Tepeyac, of St. Juan Diego and Tepeyac up on the hill. I'm like, wow, because I went over there for a basketball game once, and I hadn't been out there in many years, and I guess it might have been the first time I'd been over there. And you mentioned up the hill, and I called him Tepeyac. So that's great. So yeah, we're in good company with St. Juan Diego now and everything. So it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for sharing. So they can go to Juan Diego Academy, our website, and get all the information.
Yes, sir.
JuanDiegoAcademy.org. Thanks again for being with us.
I would like to share one more thing, if I may.
Sure, briefly. Sure.
We are definitely a service project community as well. So our kiddos every year in the summer for 1 week commit to giving back to the needy. And so they go and they help build homes, add restrooms, put up walls, what have you. That is their way to give back and to earn service hours. And so that is another way that we instill the essence of serving and becoming a true humble servant. And you have, they see the importance of what you have versus what you don't have, and to come to appreciate what you're blessed with.
How beautiful component. Thank you for sharing that and all that. We wish the best and pray blessings upon Juan Diego Academy. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Bye.